now that you say that, it is actually very bad. Like,
Yes.
and I
Yes.
get the whole, you know, we've been telling people just do it, just put it up, just post it,
Right.
just, you know, get
Right.
the content out there. You got to understand, actually, once you gather an audience, you have a responsibility to continue to increase your execution,
Yes.
to make a better product for your audience,
That's right.
especially once you actually have an audience. Like, you kind of have a responsibility to them. You can't just keep throwing some junk up and hoping that is okay with them. That's ironic though, because
It is, because
there's a lot of things that are that way.
the platform is growing, but it's when you look at it, you would put it on par with some of the other bigger ones,
Yeah,
because that's the type of audience that
particular.
they have attracted. And
Yes.
it's like, but how could you not ensure that your quality is of the
Yeah.
same caliber?
And you're literally a professional in a field that is all about sound.
All about sound.
And your sound is crazy.
Sounds crazy. Yeah.
It's like, come on, man. If you
I'm
can't
like,
do nothing else, you should be able to get this sound right.
that's what I'm
Like,
like.
show me some busted cameras, but that sound should be
Exactly. I was telling my wife that earlier. I was like, because she and I had this conversation. We have a lot of conversations, but anyway, this was a conversation we had early, and it was like, because I was sharing the same story with her, and I was like, your video can be 720p, right?
Yes.
But your audio has got to be on par. Like,
Yes.
it has got to be clean, crisp, hearable, right? Be like at the right type of volume. And without it, I mean, people will watch a crappy video
Yeah.
with great volume, though.
Yes. But not only that, great volume.
With great volume.
With great volume comes great responsibility. Because if the audio is good, think about it. Even if you're watching something, like I've been watching YouTube videos before, if the audio was good, I trust it enough to not watch it and just listen. Right? But when the audio is bad, you kind of feel like you got to keep watching, because you can't. If you walk away, you might miss something.
Exactly.
You don't know what they said. You're trying to figure out stuff from facial expressions.
But I think that's a lesson though for independence, is that yes, you may start out a certain way. I can tell you specifically, this podcast started out, the very first interview that I did, trash. I wanted to do that interview over. I need to. It's been like 6 years though, 5 years probably. I don't want to say it was in comparison to now to where we are. I thought we were doing a good job.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought we were doing a good job.
Yeah.
And when I go back now and look at the first one, I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
There's nothing I could do. But I started it.
Right.
Right. I didn't have to wait for every single condition to be right.
Yeah. But to that point, it progressed.
It progresses.
It got better.
It has to get better.
Yeah.
It has to progress.
Yeah.
You should be striving more to excellence in your execution and your deliverability of your content and of your music. Your music should be getting better.
Yes.
From when you were a youngin' to when you get more mature in the industry.
That's right.
Your music should evolve as well. You shouldn't be making the same and talking about the same thing when you were 21.
Right.
When you're 51.
Yeah.
Right?
Because your audience also wants to grow with you.
They do.
Yeah. They're growing, you hope. Some of them maybe not. But
yes. In the famous words of
if you 50 and you're still on World Star,
what did he say?
Not growing up much.
What did he say? What was the
when I was in my 20s. It was on World Star.
He said it was World Star.
Yeah, like that's where you went for entertainment, but
right.
World Star stayed the same. I grew up, so therefore that meant I needed to find other ways to entertain myself, because World Star was not it. I mean, no disrespect to World Star; it's a great platform for those who find a way to use it for whatever. But I'm just saying, there's a certain thing for a certain time, a certain space within your journey. And when you want people to travel with you, you have
Yes.
to continue to grow, evolve, improve,
Yes.
execute at higher levels, have good sound, get better cameras,
Yes.
have better lighting.
Yes. So in the words of let me see. Where's it at? Y'all know I'm cursed, so I'm not gonna read the curse words, right? So but in the words of the prophet, the music prophet J. Cole.
Oh, okay. Right.
The music,
right. Okay.
right? He said you should have brought a crib with all that bread. Now that you done blew, right? He said, I know that this is the type of revenue is never ending. He said, I know you think this type of revenue is never ending, but I want to take a minute just to tell you that ain't true. One of them days, them kids that listening is gonna grow up.
Yeah.
They are. Now your show's looking light because they don't show up.
Ooh.
Which fortunately means that the money slow up.
Yeah.
Now you're scrambling and hopping to get hot again, but you forgot you only popped because you was riding trends. Now you're old news and you're going through regrets because you never bought a house, but you got that Benz.
Ooh.
And a bunch of jewels and a bunch of shoes and a bunch of fake friends. I ain't judging you, right? I'm just telling you what's probably going to happen when you rapping about the type of you rapping about. It's a faster route to the bottom. I wish you good luck. Hoping for your sake, you ain't as dumb as you look. And you call yourself playing with my name, then I really know you effed, right? Trust. He said, I've been around forever because my skills is tip top to any amateur niggas that want to get rock. Just remember when I told you when you flop in 5 years, you're going to be on loving hip hop. Nigga, I was like, oh, that's the great prophet J. Cole, right?
You worked J. Cole into the segment.
That did. Great prophet J. Cole.
Yeah.
But that came from the song 1985. I arrived 33 years. I'm grateful I survived. But anyway, I'll get to the whole J. Cole, but
it's a good song.
Good song. Great
bars.
Great bars. Great songwriting.
I love lines that can be repeated and applied to life itself.
Me too.
Live it.
Me too. And speaking of songwriting, so the songwriter of the year, Theron Thomas. Is it Theron?
Yeah.
Because I heard him say it. I want to make sure it's Theron, right?
Yeah, people be struggling with that. They calling that man Theron and Theron and
because it looks like Theron.
Yeah.
Theron, but it's Theron. But I want to get him on the show one day. I want to get him on the
we
podcast.
can make that happen.
We got to make that happen. Like, I don't know who can make that happen. Maybe I can hit up, somebody that I know that is his manager. Maybe we could figure out how to get.
Yeah.
Maybe I hit up Ray and be like, "Hey, Ray, can we get Theron over?
Yeah.
Hey, we had you on the pod. Can we get Theron
right.
too? Like, what's good? Right?
He seems to be pretty well grounded. He's not like, I don't do that.
I actually met him.
He's a very cool dude.
Very cool dude. So remember, what was it? Was it early 2025, 2024? When did we have the Grammy party
for the nominees?
For the nominees.
That's the year he won. That was 23.
Yeah, it was that long ago?
Yeah, that's 23.
And we had it was upstairs.
It was at the
loft? Was it? Not the loft.
That whole center stage loft vinyl complex on that corner right there.
On that corner where So this is how I met Theron.
Had to walk up the stairs. Yeah,
he had to walk up the stairs. So how I met Theron was that my cousin and I were there. I told this story probably on the podcast before. My cousin and I were there, Superstar 6, who lives here as well, right? Amazing artist. And we were leaving. And so as we were leaving, we were walking, and he Superstar 6 heard this voice behind him say, hey, you. And he turned around and he was like, oh, shoot, what's up, man? We're like, what's good? He was like, man, I ain't seen you in a minute, man. Like, what's going on? He's like, remember we used to write together back in the day? We was, right? Yeah, my cousin actually was super ingrained into the music, landscape here. And I didn't even know as far as how deep. But he was talking to Theron. Right? And they were like, yeah, bro, it's good to see you, bro. And I was like, okay, cool. Hey, he's like, yo, it's my cousin Bevon. He was like, good, hey, my name's Theron. Like, pleasure to meet you. And the only reason I remember that night because the car came around the corner super fast. And we were like, yo, hold up. They trying to, and we were like, oh, shoot. But yeah, so I had a chance to meet him that night.
Me too. Same night. I met him.
Same night.
Yeah.
Right?
Is that a picture of him? I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. It's so crazy that you and I were there together, but separate.
But not, yeah.
But not.
And that's actually me and my cousin, the
Yeah.
Grammy nominated songwriter Concept.
Yep, because
we were there.
Because that was the night Killer Mike performed and Money Long performed.
Yeah.
So yeah. And so
but I was like, hey man, I know you're nominated for Songwriter of the Year. You are the Songwriter of the Year.
Exactly.
So congratulations in advance. And he won. So
he did. I wonder if I got pictures from that night.
I voted for him. I was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You in good hands in the ATL, my boy. We got you, my boy.
You in good hands because he absolutely won.
He wrote some great songs that year, for sure. I mean, he's written some great songs throughout his career, but that year was his year for sure.
You make me think, do I got pictures of when we? I'm sure we do because we were taking crazy pictures. I think I dumped them all though. But anyway, so Theron was.
I had to show you off my IG feed.
Yeah,
pictures is on a.
Oh, I think I got on my IG feed, but anyway,
my Google
I'll show you a little bit. But so he was on the Social Proof podcast, right?
Yeah.
And this is my description. Okay, laid out a brutally honest picture of today's music industry. He explained how competition is at an all-time high, with indie artists now fighting for the same streaming slots as global superstars like Beyonce. The value of music has shifted, moving from cherished CDs to disposable background noise. At the same time, too many artists fail to treat music like a real career, showing up to the studio to catch a vibe instead of working with discipline and focus. Theron argued that professionalism, humility, and service are the true keys to longevity. The industry doesn't need you. You need it. Only those willing to show up, work hard, and respect the business side of music will survive. I saw the whole thing and I was like, wow. Because some of the things he said in there were some of the things that I can only speak from my experience in the city of Atlanta. When I go to events, matter of fact, I'm not gonna name the event because he watches the podcast, right? And there's no shade, bro. If you see this, trust me, it is no slight, no shade, period. But one of the things that I don't understand, and maybe somebody can explain it to me, but I don't understand. Every time I go to an event, there has to be, in order to catch a vibe, weed.
Mm-hmm.
It has to like be there, right? And Theron talked about the Theron. Yeah, there's Theron, right? Yeah. Right. He talked about it in that clip. Like, oh, I got to smoke weed to catch a vibe. I got to come to the studio to chill to catch a vibe. I got to get this drink in my system to catch a vibe. He's like, yo, bro, you working. Like, you're on the clock. You're on the job. Like, you need to come here like you're working.
Yes.
And a level of professionalism that you need to bring to the job as you were working in any other capacity. Like,
yes.
It's a job. But I always see that. Like, so I went to this event. I ended up leaving a little bit early because there were just so many people that was blazing up. And I'm just like, I get it. I get that we have made it part of
the culture.
Mm-hmm. And that's what a lot of people do. Do what you want to do, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, just keep in mind that people don't have to engage in that or even be in that environment around that. Do you? And so if you feel that's what you want to do, just know that some people are going to find it acceptable. Some people are not. And then the people who probably don't are probably people you need to meet. And you're probably not going to meet them because they're going to be, I'm just saying, they're going to be turned off by it and they're going to be out. Yeah. They can be like, psh. But it's your job.
All right. So here's my take on that. This is where I'm at on that.
Now do it.
Okay. Theron has been, and it's not even really a Theron thing, actually. This happens in every facet of professionalism. Your experience is always going to be specific to you. There may be pieces and portions of it that will resonate with other people, but it's going to be very specific to you. So, for example, in the life of the indie artist, they may say some of the best songs that I ever came up with was on my vibe. I caught a vibe. Not
Oh,
necessarily saying that they was high on something, but they just, was in an environment that um allowed them to be their best creative self.
okay.
This statement is being made by a man who's been on a publishing deal for almost 20
For
years.
sure.
That is a job. Now, how many indie artists are on pub deals? How many artists, writers, period, are on pub deals? I think that when you have a certain level of success, then you will apply yourself at a greater commitment level. And maybe you could even say, if I apply myself at that level early, then I could get there, right?
That's what I was about to
Just
say.
like you dress for the job before you get the job.
Exactly.
The reality is, if the job that I'm looking for is to be the writer, or the job that I'm looking for is to be the artist, in most cases, artists, that's what the job looks like. The job looks like catching vibes, and the job looks like hanging out. That's what it is for the artist. For songwriters, should songwriters come in and really be about the work? I think a lot of them are. I think that statement that he's making is very true, but it is more applicable to artists that may also be writers, but not necessarily the writers. Because us writers, we just want to get a finished product that will actually see the light of day. And so more times than not, we do come in focused on that. And that's even true for Atlanta, which is probably the home of the vibe. But you're talking about a guy who gets flown by his publishing company to New York. Yeah, you're at work, clearly. You get flown, it's a paid trip for you. The label has requested your presence in Nashville to write 5 songs. Yeah, you're at work. Absolutely. You get flown to LA by request of a producer or a label or an artist. Yeah. So is that the identical experience for every other writer? Like, he's talking to a very small group, and there probably are writers that are signed that are still out here talking about they catching vibes. And when I say signed, I mean signed to a publishing deal, whether it be with Warner or BMG or whoever, Sony. They may still be on that catch a vibe thing, which is not going to get you as far as if you have the mindset that he has and go into work. But I know that there's always scenarios where, again, that one brushstroke, he missing a whole lot of people with that, because it doesn't apply to everybody. If Sony Publishing says, "Hey, we're sending you to XYZ," yeah, that's a work trip. If me and you decide to get together and write some songs, is that a work trip? Should we work towards a goal of getting some music completed, accomplished for the purpose of putting out?
Yes.
Absolutely. But I think, to characterize it as a job for us would be aspirational, not situational. The situation that we are in, it is not our job, but we do aspire for it to create opportunities to put us in a place where it could be our jobs. So yeah, we go into it, or should, with a certain mindset, but it's not metaphoric or figurative when he says it's your job. For him, he's signed to probably a multi-million, multi-year, multi-placement publishing deal. Oh, that's a job.
I mean,
so it's just the perspective is different.
For sure. I mean, but should it be a job? Should indies have a mindset that they should approach it like a job, and so we use the term business, right? Because essentially you are operating as a entity when you are doing all these different things. So should they approach it like a job, even though they may be catching a vibe? I got
Their job they might think their job is to catch a vibe.
Two stories, right? I'll make this super quick. The first story.
Wait, let me say this one thing before you say it, because I'm gonna
ahead.
forget what I'm saying. And I smell what you cooking, but at the same time, I just want to say sometimes you leave your job to go do the music, and so you don't want to feel like you're categorizing it as that. It is supposed to be a release for some people. A what do you call it when you get away from something? It's
It's your escape into
it's just an escape into something. So if you characterize it as the same place that you just clocked out from, I don't know that it allows you to still create the way you may want to. But I think what you're saying is right. But I think that it has to be balanced, and it's going to be specific to some individuals.
Yeah, I mean, is this why it takes? You got to go into the studio and it takes an hour to get ready, because you're catching the vibe, and then another 30 minutes to kind of wind down and then start getting into the writing.
That's another thing too. That's a different level too. Because a lot of us are broke. So we can't afford. We only pay for a 3-hour session, or a 6-hour session.
I'm not coming to.
We don't. Yeah, we don't. Yeah. We trying to catch a vibe and get some stuff done at the same time.
Exactly.
So it ain't no.
We coming in for an hour.
I don't smoke or anything like that either. So, but it ain't no smoking for an hour, then talking for an hour.
Nah.
In Atlanta, in the studios that I'm in, the people I've been around, it's literally all three at once. We smoking, talking, and vibing and writing all at the same time because time is of the essence.
For sure.
So that's even a different level to even be at a level where you can go into an environment and give yourself the time to get into a vibe.
I mean, I think he argued that professionalism, humility, and service are the true keys to longevity.
I love that.
I love that because I think that's true. So, two quick stories. The first story, and you probably heard this one, was about Queen Latifah and Erykah Badu.
Mm-mm.
So, Erykah Badu and Queen Latifah was working on a song. They were in the studio. Queen Latifah was in the studio. Erykah Badu came to the studio 2 hours late. And when she walked in, the story went that Queen Latifah slapped her. That's not true, right? They came out and said that ain't true. Like, she walked up, was like, what was the movie she was in?
Set it off.
Yeah, set it off. Right? She ain't set it off on her like that. But what she did do was she walked up to her and said, "Look, that's not how we roll over here. We're about professionalism. We're about punctuality, and you need to apologize for being 2 hours late." And she did. Erykah Badu, I'm sorry. I get it. I understand because they had to wait for her to get there.
Yeah.
In order to do so, she went in the booth, recorded her thing, and that was the end of it. But I think that's the piece people miss is your professionalism when you are conducting business, when you are in those environments. You are there to do a particular job, but it may be the fact that you want to vibe out. I have nothing wrong with us chit-chatting while we're doing it.
Yeah.
We're not really smoking, but maybe we got, some wine or whatever the case. That's cool.
Yeah.
As long as that's not what takes up the majority of the time for what we're actually there to do. We have to at least leave with something that we've accomplished. Yeah. And what I don't want to accomplish is that we just caught a vibe and just And I think that's what he's saying is that a lot of people sometimes want to just catch a vibe. So the second story is that my wife and I watched, we had date night yesterday, and we watched the Blackberry movie. Okay. And it was really good.
Really good.
Right? Really good because I remember working at Verizon, and that's all we carried was Blackberries. Mm-hmm. And I remember the time I was at Verizon, we had
my Blackberry.
I used to love that.
Still use one.
Gosh, I love the Blackberry. Yeah. From the time I was at Verizon, I saw Blackberry come and go.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that was very quick.
Yeah, me too, actually. Because I was working at Circuit City. We sold Blackberries.
We sold Blackberries, and I carried a Blackberry. And
me too. I had 3 different iterations of the Blackberry.
Yeah, and I was a national sales trainer at Verizon, so I walked around and facilitated in 2 different, the Midwest and in the Northeast, for national sales and major sales for Verizon.
Yeah.
Well, let me make sure Verizon Wireless, right? Because there's a difference between the two. But we had every BlackBerry that existed because they always give it to us.
Yeah.
Right. And so what I noticed in that movie was that they were so focused on catching the vibe, they had to bring somebody in that was like, y'all get y'all together.
Yeah.
Because if you're not gonna make it as a company.
Right.
And this dude came in and was about business.
Yeah.
And he got that company up, got that company running, got them sales of their phones to the point where they captured 45% of the cell
Of the
phone market.
Yeah.
They were the largest.
Yeah.
And if they kept that attitude of we catching the vibe, they had movie night, they ended up playing video games,
Yeah.
they playing Dune, Dune went in there.
And that even that, like, that's a great example because that's how that happens. That's how this whole catch a vibe thing has happened. The creative could say we would have never got to the point where we had a product that was able to do what it did if we did not enjoy coming to work.
That's right.
If we did not catch that vibe.
That's right.
Now then that's when a manager comes in, right? Just like an artist manager or a writer's manager, they come in and they make sure that the business is getting handled. But in order for the artist to be as creative as they need to be, they maybe allow for that vibe catching to happen because they know that's how they get the black. If they had started out as buttoned up, there may never have been a BlackBerry.
Yep. I think that's true. So, and I was telling my wife, it was watching the movie that they needed both of those.
Yes.
And what ended up happening, and so that's what ended up happening in this situation is they end up doing away with one.
Too far.
And they shifted way too far.
Yes.
And it became more corporate oriented.
That's right.
And they killed the culture.
That's right.
Right. And so part of the culture is having space where you can do that, catching the vibe, which I'm all cool for, right? I am 100% cool for doing that as long as you still understand that the business still needs to.
You got to find that balance.
Has to be a balance. And when old boy came in, he was hiring people and doing some crazy stuff that just sank BlackBerry. But what really sank BlackBerry was this baby,
the
iPhone.
Yeah,
came out in 2007,
and then that iPhone.
When it hit in 2007, and they were like, "Oh shoot, 2008, BlackBerry was done." It was like a year later.
Yeah,
BlackBerry.
And I remember being one of those people. I was a late, and I'm usually early on most things. I was a late adopter to the cell phone as we know it. I was like, "What do you mean you're gonna take the buttons off?" I don't think so.
I don't think so.
The phone how you got a phone if it don't have buttons on it? And so I was the best of both worlds type of person. So I had those phones like the HTC where
I had
it was
one of those.
It looked like the iPhone, but then you could slide it up and it had a keyboard under it.
I had one of those. I had the one with the stylus too. Had a blue joint you could slide up at the keyboard.
Yeah.
Just looked
like the Pilot.
It Palm Pilot.
Yeah, they had a phone version of it. But yeah, I mean, that was to me, I think even still to this day, that still would in theory be the best of both worlds.
Right.
Finding the balance. Shoot, maybe our younger generation would know how to spell better, or maybe they would know how to type better if phones still had keyboards.
Maybe
if nothing else, they would be more. They'd be better with their hands.
Yo, spell orange.
People struggle with spelling orange.
Yo, so I saw this clip. Y'all saw it. I know y'all saw the clip. Y'all saw it. So the dude was like, it was, a couple young cats. They were like, they looked at one of their friends and were like, "Yo, spell orange." My boy was like, "The color or the fruit?"
What? What? How did he even go there in his mind?
They were like, "What?" He was like, "No, it's a serious question. Which one? The color or the fruit?"
That's crazy.
And they were like, "Yo, that's wild, son. You."
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I could see if they had said like spell red or something. Then you say the color or the word or the action.
It's the same thing. He was like, "The word or the fruit? And the color or the fruit?"
That's crazy.
It's the same. I thought that was wild. I thought it was a struggle. Yeah.
Trying to find
It's
balance.
a struggle. It's a struggle. Trying to find that balance.
But yeah, so in T-Ron's case, he's absolutely right, but that don't apply to
There has to be a balance.
the majority of
Yes,
us.
there should be a balance between. For me, there should be a balance between the two. Yeah, we can catch a vibe, chill, listen to music, get us ready in the mood, whatever the case. But then at the end of the day, we got to get business.
Yeah.
We should walk away with at least a song written,
Yeah.
a song produced, beat produced, something
Yeah.
that says we spent 3 hours in the studio. What do we have to actually show for it?
Yeah.
Besides, leaving with our clothes smelling crazy.
Yeah. It's tough, man. You got to find that balance, but it's tough. I'm not gonna lie to you, because
tough.
you could be in a scenario where you go in there talking about, all right, let's write, let's do this, and the artist's not on that. Like, you messing up the vibe. Now your ass. Now you got to get up out of here.
You messing up the
You
vibe.
done messed up the vibe. And there's also scenarios where you literally can create community. You can create longevity.
Facts.
In a scenario, in a situation, by just going with the flow. So I know this sounds bad, but it's true, man.
It's
like
true.
You can go in,
I get it.
You could go in there and literally don't write or record nothing, and you thought going in that this was gonna be your one opportunity, your only chance. Next thing you know, you've written 8 songs on a project that has 9. And you never anticipated it to be that, but it was because you just kind of let the situation happen. You didn't attempt to, enforce structure upon it that was unwanted.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, I mean, I get it.
And most of the OG artists actually, they work first and chill.
They do
second,
and I'm okay. Even if
we would record an entire song, and then while we was listening to playback, while the engineer's tweaking, we in there. Now we got a little something to sip on. Yeah. We got the brown out now.
Yeah, I'd rather do it that way.
Yeah, we put the work in first.
I'd rather put the work in first, and then at the end of the day, we can play. Yeah. I'm cool with both, but I would rather just put the work in and then we play.
Yeah, and even the younger writers in Atlanta, I can say the younger writers that I've been in studio with, those that are signed to deals, they're coming in to work. Like, they want to get the work done. They're not in there playing around. They really not. The writers that I have worked with, they be focused. Like I said, it's more so the artists that be on that whole we gotta catch a vibe type thing.
I gotta get a vibe before
it's rare that writers
in there working.
Yeah,
they know.
Like I said, we broke, so we like, hey, we need to write. I came to write one song, but I'm trying to write three songs tonight.
Exactly. That's right.
In 6 hours, we need to have 3 records.
That's right.
2 hooks.
That's right.
It's maybe 6 hooks.
We got work to do.
Yeah,
we got work to do. So I mean, so I think that's the lesson for all of you independents is, I mean, as us as independents too, right? As someone who produces and someone who writes songs and does all the amazing things that he does, like, we are still in this independent space, so we still face the same things that all of you do as well. We're not somebody that's outside of the space looking in. Right. We're actually in the middle of the same thing as well.
We got literally boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground, right? So this kind of goes to the second part. And this came from a clip I saw with Money Long, where she was talking about the music industry has always been unpredictable, but in today's environment, even great songs and talented artists can flop. Because she was talking about, and it was on the Joe Budden podcast, right? And so it was talking about what makes hit songs. And so she was talking about hits are influenced not just by the quality, but by marketing, timing, persistence, and cultural trends.
Yes.
Independent artists face even steeper odds as they juggle not only the creative side, but also all the other hats we have to wear: promotion, branding, business, constant reinvention, everything, right? So many so-called overnight successes are actually years in the making. So when you think about artists like Chance the Rapper, Doechii, Logic, whoever you want to put in that category, right? There's a lot of work. Some of them probably plant. Well, anyway, but
Hey, one I'm thinking of specifically, but yeah.
And she talked about surviving in the industry requires more than talent. It's about discipline, adaptability, and defining success on your own terms. So it kind of ties into some of the things that Theron was saying.
Yeah.
Right? So as a songwriter, let me ask you, as a songwriter, what makes a hit song? You were just talking about, the 5-year anniversary of, 112's record. You wrote 8 songs out of the 9 on that. What makes a hit song? And how do you determine if it's a hit?
There's a lot of things that go into a hit song, and I actually I believe this. Even like when you hear Theron talk about hit songs, he always tells a story about Quincy Jones telling him, "Man, F them verses. It's all about the hook. If the hook ain't right, then the song it won't take flight.
The song ain't tight."
So I believe a great melody is the start. Great melody, because the melody is usually more memorable than any of the words will ever be. You and I, when we first came in here, we was humming the melody to the Jodeci record, like the parts that stick because it was a great melody. I think you start with that. For me specifically, I try to, once I have a great melody, I try to ensure that the song sits in a place that will resonate with people so that it has life beyond a trend or beyond a moment, but something that people listen to and then basically find where they can apply that to their life or their situation, right? Whether that's going out tonight, whether that's being in love, whether that's hating somebody or whatever it is, but to word it in a way that it's universal. I think if you've got a great melody, universal appeal, those are like the 2 foundations to not only a song being a hit now, but having the opportunity to create something that's long lasting.
Because we talked about on the podcast before, I think it was a statement that was made that if you make great songs, it'll find its way.
Yeah.
It's like,
no.
I think you said that on the last because you heard it at the.
It was one of those things where somebody said something that applied to the scenario that they were in. To their version of reality. A great song could find its way because that already meant that it was on a label and that was on a major artist and that it had a budget.
But it's not necessarily applicable to
the indie who may have a phenomenal song, but they don't have the ability, the platform to put it out for so many people to hear it. And so it doesn't. It may find its way to some people, but that won't make it a hit in terms of its national or regional or worldwide appeal.
Yeah, because
or not appeal, but reach.
Yeah, just reach.
Just won't get heard.
Just get exactly like who has the ability to even hear the song that you made from that perspective, and it takes more than just I wrote the song. I'm gonna put it on Spotify and just see what it do.
Yeah,
I did it. How come Spotify ain't helping push the song? You know what I mean? Like I wrote it and we put it out. Boom, it should do.
Yeah, which is crazy.
We don't have the same level of resources that a major would have. They don't have to worry about the marketing and the branding and the promotion and none of that because they know the label's going to take care of it because the label's they need to recoup and eat.
That's right.
Off of that. Yeah. And from an independent, it's like you have to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Unless you hire somebody to do that for yourself, which is going to, of course, cost money.
Yeah.
And then if you hire somebody to do that and you pay that person, you still got to have money to do the things that they're needing to do, whether it's promotions or ads or whatever the case is. And it's like, if you don't have those resources to be able to do that, how can you expect your song to get in front of the masses without the promotion, right? So we interviewed Wendy Day, right? And of course, Wendy Day was responsible for the whole 30 million plus Cash Money deal.
The
right?
deal, right?
Yeah, one of the biggest deals
Yeah.
in the entire hip hop space.
Yes.
And so she was talking about the amount of money that it takes for her to break an artist, which was $150,000. That through that process
Mm-hmm.
for them to break an actual artist,
Yeah.
because that's how they broke Problem out in California. That's how they broke. We're using the word broke like it's a horse, right?
Whoa.
You gotta break a horse. Like you gotta break him down and build him back up, right? Oh, at least to give that artist the
attention,
the exposure, the reach that they
the
need.
reach. Yes.
That it takes.
Yeah. Now, mind you,
150,000.
It's 150,000, but that's knowing what you need to do with that 150,000. Which is not going to be just buying Spotify ads or Instagram ads. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to know, okay, allocate 10,000 to this, 25 to this, 5,000 to this, in order to truly gain the reach. So somebody like a Wendy, you're talking about somebody who has the ability to call up a radio station and they know who she is. The same thing that the labels would have, but then us as independents have to find and be more resourceful to find ways to have the reach, regardless of how amazing the song might be.
Yeah, and it's not, and it's one lump sum. Right. It's in the entirety of like a year.
Yeah.
Ensuring that you have, that's because she was talking about Little Donald. I don't want to say little because that's not the actual terminology of the name. Lil Donald, right? Lil Donald.
Yeah.
Right. And so, so that's what she was like, yeah, it takes that much for us to actually do all the things that we need to do throughout the year to ensure you get the right amount of promotion, marketing, branding, exposure, radio play, everything.
Yeah. And again, like I said, that's just to gain the reach. But that's not to say that that it's gonna stick. That doesn't mean it's a great record. I can't think of an example right off the top of my head, but there are plenty of songs that have been released, and you could tell that they were released, with or with a budget from a label, but the song just wasn't good. So it still
like Thong Song.
Thong Song was amazing.
It was not.
It's a great song.
It was trash.
That's a great song.
It is now.
Are you serious?
When I first heard Thong Song, I hated it.
Oh my goodness. No, that was a great song.
Sorry, Tim. Bob, sorry.
That's a great song.
It was when I first heard it. I was like,
the beauty of music.
The
beauty of music is, perspective. But
that's the beauty of music.
Yeah, but to me, that was a great song.
I like it now. But wait. You know why I like it now?
Subject matter and all that was goofy, but the melodies were amazing.
But I like it now because
voice.
Something has to grow on you, right? Like a fungus. So,
but that's where that marketing that's where that money comes into play. Because for a guy to say, I didn't like that song, and you literally just sang 16 bars worth of the melody.
Oh, I know the whole song now.
Says that
I so devilish.
My daughter and I, we ride down the street, right? Taking her to school, ride down the street. We're in the car, going down the street.
I can't say that part. Hey, I don't want what's your boy to come after me by saying was it Max Martin?
Oh no, Ricky Martin.
No.
La vida loca line.
But it wasn't Ricky. It wasn't Ricky Martin who came after them. It was
Ricky got paid too.
Oh, he definitely got paid. But it was it Max Martin? I think it was Max Martin. I think Max Martin wrote. It was either him. It was either him or another guy. I think it's another guy because I think I saw him in LA one time.
Well, I know that there's another story about there's a sample in that song.
And they didn't get that cleared either.
And they didn't get the sample cleared either.
Exactly.
They didn't clear the La Vida Loca or the sample.
Exactly. They didn't.
Yeah. There's a sample. I can't remember what it is, but yeah.
Oh gosh. You make me figure out who the songwriter is because it's.
But yeah, I did hear about
Desmond
that.
Child. Yes. Yeah. Matter of fact, it was Desmond Child that I met out in LA.
Okay.
Yes. So anyway, Desmond Child.
Yeah.
But
I was saying, daughter, me and her.
Yeah,
she's 14, 13. We riding down the street, and what is the song? My Mariah the Scientist, the song's called Blue. I got that blue fever, cold and like a whole
Is it a country song?
No,
Sound like a country
exactly.
song.
I know.
But
So
I
what
never heard it.
what I say when we hear that song is called Blue something.
Yeah.
Is that I tell her this is an example right here of them shoving it down our throats. We're going to like this
You're
song
going to
whether
like
we like it or not.
And that's how Thong Song was for me.
Yeah.
You're going to like the song.
Yeah.
If you don't think you like it now,
now I'm not gonna lie, that
wait till the
that
seventh
radio push was crazy.
Crazy.
Because that song played like once every 30 minutes. Which is equivalent to back then. The songs were 5 minutes long. That was once every 6 songs.
Exactly. So in sales, there's the concept of the 7 touch points.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so you have to make 7 touch points with someone that you're selling to in order for them to go, I think I'm going to buy that.
Yeah.
Whether it comes, and it doesn't matter what mediums it comes through, phone calls, videos, email, text message, any type of promotional touch point that puts it into the face of the person, the consumer, that's a touch point.
Yes.
And that's how it was for me with Thong Song. Whether it was the video.
The video was crazy.
The video was crazy. Whether it was hearing it on the radio.
The radio play was crazy.
I'm just like, whether it was actually hearing other people talk about it and singing, I'm just like, yo, this song is commercials.
Everywhere.
I like the song is everywhere. Everywhere.
That's a marketing push at its finest.
Absolutely.
They were they gonna get this song whether they want it or not.
And that, I think, is what, in this scenario, she's really talking about. The promotion, the branding, everything that goes into not just writing the hit song and producing the hit song, right? You know, they originally made that for Michael Jackson in some way. It wasn't Thong Song, but I can't even imagine Michael Jackson even singing that.
Yeah. That would have been wild.
That's great.
Mike might have killed it.
Mike. Girl, you got thong. Yo, that probably would have been crazy,
Mike
right?
Probably would have went off on that thing.
He probably would have, right? He probably would have killed that. But they shoved it down your throat.
They did.
You know, and you have artists who,
to me, that's Doechie's anxiety.
They shoved it down your throat.
They shoved anxiety down your throats to the point where you had people really like, this is a great song. Remember you just asked me what makes a great song? I said melody. That's not even a singable melody for most people. The hook melody on anxiety. But it doesn't matter because I'm going to play it. Every 6 song will be anxiety and I'm going to jam it down your throat.
Because we as the radio, as the label have paid the radio stations. This is how much we're giving you.
Yeah.
And here's how many times we want this song to be
played.
It better get played because we paying you $100,000.
Yeah.
That mug better get played $100,000 worth.
Right.
And so we need to hear that thing every 6 songs. I want to hear that song.
Yeah. And that's how
PDs, you know that's the
you know, I mean, whether they called it advertising dollars or what, but
you know what it is.
Whatever.
Right? You know exactly what it is. But here's the thing is that you got artists who are so scared to matter of fact, they're so scared to push their music out multiple times. Who was the Joyner Lucas? I think it was Joyner Lucas. I'll make sure I get it right. Y'all go fact check, right? I think it was Joyner Lucas came up with a album, and he went on his Instagram and made a video talking about how he was like, man, I don't even want to announce it, and or maybe it was something like that, talking about announce it and you know, putting my music out there so people know it's available, and you know, he just felt some type of way about it. He was like, man, forget that. I'm putting my music out there. But you have a lot of artists who release a song.
I feel like that was, I saw something similar to that. It was Tyler, the Creator.
But yeah.
Tyler was like, when he first put his music out, he felt like it was corny for him to talk about it.
Yes, I saw that. But I did see the one with Joyner Lucas. Okay. I think it was Joyner Lucas. He was outside walking.
Okay.
And he was telling this whole story. He was like, you know what? My EP drops tonight. Y'all make sure y'all go get it.
Oh, that was Vic Mensa.
Yeah, Vic Mensa.
That was
yeah,
Vic
that was
Mensa.
y'all gotta go fact. You gotta go fact check who
Vic
was.
Mensa.
It was Vic Mensa.
Because
Yeah.
he stopped and started pulling the orange off a tree.
Yes, he did.
I was like, that's a flex. Having an orange tree in your, well, we assuming it was in his yard.
You mean the color of the
Right.
Right, yeah. It was Vic Mensa.
Vic
That's right.
Mensa.
That's right. I knew it was somebody. I just couldn't get the wrong individual. But that's a lot of artists face that. They are so scared to put their music out and they only promote it one time.
Yeah.
Like you can't be, that's part of your promotion.
Yes.
You should be thinking about, okay, how many times am I going to promote this album? I told you I promoted my album for like 5 years. It came out in 2017. I think in 2022, I officially took it down from all streaming services. And the reason why I took it down is because I was going to do a remake of the album.
Okay.
I was actually going to re-release it with 4 new songs on it.
Okay.
And re-push it back out and redo it again.
Yeah.
And that's why I took it down. But now I'm just going to do a whole nother R&B album, right? 90s probably, which is why I've been listening. Why you heard me humming Jodeci, because I'm listening only to 90s R&B. Like I want catching the vibe. I only want that feeling from this album. But anyway, a lot of artists are so scared to promote their music. But how do you expect your music to be heard by people if you don't promote it?
If you don't promote it.
That's so crazy to me.
And then that whole theory of, I've been hearing a lot of people saying lately, I think even Lizzo said it. I know Tyler, Creator, has said it several times that, you probably have to post that song 30 times before every one of your followers has even seen it, because based on them having so many people that they follow, and whether or not the algorithm leads them to your music or not, they could be a follower of you, but not see you posting about. Like, I remember there were times where I would reach out directly to someone about a song that I've been posting for the last 3 weeks. And they'd be like, oh, I hadn't heard that. And I'm like, how do you follow me? I'd be mad. How you follow me and you ain't know about this? You ain't heard this song. And I've been posting this song on my, been on my story. Right.
Haven't seen it yet.
And I think that we assume that if we know someone is following us, that they see everything we post. But how, Sway? How is that even possible? Most of us follow a minimum of 500 people. A minimum.
So we can't.
And if you follow 500 people, in addition to now what platforms like TikTok and Instagram are feeding into the algorithm based on what has been popular posts and are similar to what you viewed, they're actually placing those posts in between your actual followers' posts or your following. So you're seeing
ads.
Ads. So it may be, if for every 5 posts you see, probably only 2 of the 5 are actually people that you follow.
That's facts.
So if that's the case, people are not seeing when you promote on that first try, on that second try, on that third. And even if they do, hey, maybe if you get lucky and you hit them 7 times, they'll go ahead and download it.
And that's no, that is for real. Like, they gotta see it literally that many times. I mean, it is a psychological thing that once people start really seeing it around 7 times, they're like, oh, what's this? Oh, maybe I need to get it. By the time I heard Thong Song by the 7th time, I was, that girl's so skin.
Right.
You can't handle this. Right? I was like, oh, this song is dope. Look in the eyes so devilish. She make it dance to the hip hop. So I was like, okay, this mug is pretty tough. I'm not gonna be the loca. She got dumped like a truck. Yeah, I was like, wow.
It's got great melodies. It's got memorable moments. It's
after listening to it that long, I was like, yeah, this is friggin' awesome.
And then my man said, for y'all dummies, I'm gonna sing it again.
I was like,
that's perfect. That's one of the things that Theron always says is, like, see how many great hooks you can write in a song. And those are the melodies that you want to repeat, like those great moments that people are going to remember that you can repeat. That's what happened in Thong Song.
Yeah, that's facts. And the thing is that when we're talking about posting something 30 times, you don't actually have to be the person physically posting it 30 times, right? Like, learn how to use tools that other companies have made available for you to do this,
Right.
like Buffer or whatever
Yeah.
an equivalent of Buffer is. You can just load all your posts into Buffer. Yeah, it's going to take you some front end time,
Yeah.
but at least now you can walk away knowing that you have 30 posts scheduled
Yeah.
every day for the next 30 days. You got this going
It's
out.
been my experience that you can't. I have not been able to find an artist that's willing to do that. I don't know any
What?
actual artist, independent artist, that is using a schedule,
Y'all not
a
using schedulers?
scheduler.
Y'all not using scheduling tools? For y'all
And you can
content?
tell by the content when they, like, it just be arbitrary random times of the day.
Nah, bro. Y'all,
It's like, it's not hard. It's actually a science to it, to where you
Yes.
like, okay, most people are on here at 8 a.m., at 10 a.m., at
yo,
12 p.m., at 1,
Bruh.
at 3, at
Bruh.
5,
Bruh.
at 8, at
Yeah.
10,
That-
and you can literally schedule it that way. You rotate 4 or 5 pieces of content.
you know what it's called?
You know,
what
we're
it's
giving
called? You know what it's
giving
called?
away indie game.
That's,
It
you
ain't.
know what it's called? That's analytics, bro. Like,
Yeah.
that's YouTube tells you, Instagram tells you, TikTok tells you. Like, when you go to post a video to YouTube, it tells you the day and the time. It shows you by a graph. This is the best time that your audience
Yeah.
is on, or people who like what you do is
Yeah.
that they're on. So I know at times I go, okay, I used to release stuff at like 7 p.m. Sometimes now I release things at 1 because when I go in to look,
Mhm.
best time of day to reach your audience is 1 p.m. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. 1 p.m.
Yeah. Got those
But-
professionals that getting ready to go to lunch. They at lunch and they get to scrolling.
That's right. But it'll tell
That's
you.
that 1 o'clock.
It'll give you a range, 6 to 8. And it'll always say post like an hour or so before, so that by the time it can get into the system, when 6 o'clock hits,
It's there.
it's there. And people
Yeah.
ready.
When
They
they
can see.
open their phone, it's
Boom.
gonna be the first one, or at least first 3.
I cannot believe that there are not indie
They're a lot.
artists who are not
a
out
lot.
there
They-
using,
It requires discipline.
once again,
And
right?
That's why.
Isn't that we just
that's
isn't that what
why
I
my
said?
company exists.
It's about discipline, adaptability, and defining success on your own terms. If you're not disciplined,
Yeah.
it's going to be very hard for you to truly, truly make it. Sorry. You got to be disciplined.
Or surround yourself with a team of people who will
are
be what
disciplined.
you are
Exactly.
not. Whatever that may be that you are not.
Exactly. That's why y'all out here wild. Y'all wilding out.
They wow.
Y'all wilding out.
Yeah,
Wilding out.
for sure.
But man, I hope y'all enjoyed that because there's a lot of gems in there. Y'all, look, that's what we do. The Indian
It is.
Blood. We drop nothing but gems for y'all.
Dropping that knowledge.
Dropping
After
that
12th
knowledge.
grade, went straight to college. What song is that?
I don't know.
Yeah, me either.
But it sounded dope though.
The song, it's like,
The 1990s.
yeah, it's like leaders of the new school.
Had somebody call us an old head the other day.
Yeah,
I didn't respond. But anyway, I'll whatever.
yeah,
were like,
it's
they-
fine.
They were like, crisscross, there's a difference between hip hop and rap. I get it. There's probably, right? And then it was like, they rapped in their songs with a W. I was like, rap like presents?
Right.
That's how they rap? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But hey, you got to know the history of crisscross to be able to know,
Yeah.
that they literally weren't. They were just 2 kids in the mother. Like, yo, y'all can make a group. Look how y'all.
Yes.
You know what? I'm making y'all a group. They
Yes.
didn't start off that way.
No.
But anyway, y'all know the deal. But thank you for tuning in once again. This is the Indian Plug, your man Bevon.
TYE in the building.
TYE in the building. TYE. But anyway, peace, y'all. TYE. But once again, that was a hook. That was a hook, right? Yeah,
That's right.
That's right.
And
the
you
hook.
remember it.